Hey everyone, welcome back. Sisters of Parvos has been out for a little over a day now. I'm sure you've all started your adventure on the new Corpus Lich weapons, or maybe you immediately went for Yareli's quest first. It's a shame she didn't live up to our expectations. Anyways, as it should be clear by now, there are two kinds of Tenet weapons. The kind you claim from your fallen Corpus Lich in trial by combat aboard the Corpus capital ships as the penultimate fight, or salvaged from Ergo Glast's wares in the relay in exchange for corrupted Holokeys. So what exactly are corrupted Holokeys, and why are we farming them? Apparently they are relics of Parvos Granum's original capital flagship, which was destroyed by bombing and carried all the teachings that founded the city of Corposium. It appears Ergo Glast wants to revive these teachings and set Corpus society right. So, in exchange for this ancient wreckage, he's willing to part with some other Corpus gifts, the Tenet Melee collection. This consists of Tenet Grigori, the Scythe, Tenet Livia, the two-handed Nikana, Tenet Exec, the heavy blade, and Tenet Agendus, the sword and board. Every week you can claim one of each of these weapons. They will have a predetermined elemental bonus ranging from 25 to 60% and a randomized element. You can only purchase them once until the next rotation, which appears to reset every Wednesday at roughly 7 PM EST. Every Tenet Melee will cost you 40 corrupted keys, therefore if you want all the options so that you can eventually max out every Tenet Melee to 60% bonus ASAP with your chosen element, you will want to buy all 4 Melee every week, which corresponds to 160 corrupted Holokeys. Now begs the main question on why you came to this video. How do we farm that many Holokeys? Or maybe you're wondering, how do we even farm Holokeys? Well, let's start from the basics. Every single Voidstorm node in each Proxima can reward corrupted Holokeys as common mission rewards. They are typically the first drop you see after the relic drop in the sequence shown on screen at the end of the mission. They will drop in place of Void Trace rewards if you get them. Every single Voidstorm node has a 37.5% chance of awarding corrupted Holokeys upon completion. The only difference is the quantity of keys awarded, which differ by planet. Earth and Venus give 2, Neptune gives 3, Saturn gives 4, Pluto gives 5, and finally Vale gives 6. So technically you will want to run Vale when possible, but this is not always the case. Vale Proxima Voidstorms are the longest and also the most difficult, so typically you will want a team that really knows what they're doing to clear it quickly. Another thing to note is you want to prioritize Extermination Voidstorm missions, as these are by far the fastest and will give you the best run times on cycling Holokey farms. Extermination missions typically at most take about 5 minutes in an experienced squad, and I would strongly recommend Titania with Thermal Sunder for this purpose, as you will be doing a lot of runs. Alternatively, anything that has a line of sight killing and low effort for mobility works well also. I personally use Mesa because I don't have Titania built for this purpose. It's an art of going bullet jump to bullet jump and rolling midair so that you're never casting your peacemakers in one place. What's important is that you're always moving forward. If you fall behind, remember the Void Dash on your operator will help a lot to make up the pace. Now why extermination missions, you may ask? That's obvious. Extermination has the highest reactant drop chance, meaning you will always cap out 10 reactant by the end of the mission, no matter how fast you rush through killing the enemies. While Vale's Calabash Exterminate node may have the best efficiency time-wise, taking about 5 minutes per run in an experienced team, there are other options. In particular, the Nuking node on Neptune Proxima is actually your best option for casual Holokey runs. If there's a Voidstorm present on it, runs on this node take 2.5 to 3 minutes only. Enemies are low level and very easy to kill, both in the railjack part preceding the boarding and afterwards. This means nearly anybody can run it. You don't need a good railjack, you just need to know where the mission objectives are, as they never change. You can entirely skip the secondary objectives on the Nuking Neptune node during the Voidstorm also. All you need to do is blow up the security nodes on the capital ship, which are 2 or 3, and destroy a single Corpus cruise ship. After that, everyone immediately boards the capital ship. If you have the intrinsics for it, you can just have one person fly to the capital ship as the cruise ship is being destroyed, and then have everybody teleport to them once they board it inside. The capital ship will be a standard extermination mission, and this is where you basically just rush through the tile set as fast as possible, killing corrupted Corpus along the way. Typically you'll max out your reactant before you even manage to kill half the enemy quota, which is usually around 100 enemies. As soon as you reach the end, everyone just omni-tools back onto the railjack. At this point you just select your relic reward and wait for the timer to tick down at the end of the mission. Now you watch for the first reward after the relic loot. This is your Holokey rotation. You might get it, you might not. After this, you just keep cycling the extermination node again until it expires. The run takes about 2.5 to 3 minutes on total on Nuking, so you can reasonably get in about 16 to 17 runs within that hour if you account for mission downtime and relic selection. At 37.5% drop chance, you should land the Holokey loot around 6 times in that hour easily. This is 18 corrupted Holokeys, so after about 2 hours of grinding, you should have enough to pick up your first new shiny Tenet Melee toy. Of course this is RNG, so your mileage may vary, but the odds are pretty decent and shouldn't swing your total run count required too much either way. Veil may still be slightly faster, but the new Gua node in particular is extremely easy and can be run whenever, so long as that Void Storm spawns, and you can even do it solo at near the same pace, but at that point I would strongly recommend a Titania for Thermal Sunder in this scenario. Finally, there is one last thing to consider. Some of these Tenet Melee have varying degrees of slash bias. Consider that if you aren't intending on using a primer or wish to build viral directly into the melee, you may actually instead want to go as low elemental percentage bonus as possible instead to minimize the viral weighting. This would mean getting cold or toxin as close to 25% as possible so they can maintain as high of a slash weighting as possible. This maximizes your odds of proccing slash because elements don't affect the damage of slash DOTs, so this is the best possible solution when not using a primer. However, this is only worth doing on melees that have slash on their stances or have high slash weight. Luckily, this works on all 4 Tenet Melee, as Tenet Grigori and Tenet Livia both have 4 slash on their heavy attacks. Both weapons also have extremely high slash bias innately as well. Tenet Agendas has several 4 slash procs on the neutral E combo despite only having impact on the innate elements. While Tenet Exec doesn't necessarily have the best slash weighting and lacks stance slash, this can still easily be fixed with Carnus Mandible, the 90% slash and 60% status mod. If you aren't looking to put viral on the weapon, then just go for maximum innate elemental bonus, which will buff the total base damage further, to fuel your slash procs and raw damage on corrosive or viral, if you aren't building for slash purely. And there you go, that's how I've been farming Holokeys with my friends over the past day. You should easily be able to get a melee in a day with just a little bit of farming over the 2 hours. I actually know people that already own all 4 Tenet Melees because of this. Just keep in mind you have 1 week to pick up everything in Ergo Glast's rotation, and that it resets every Wednesday at 7 PM EST. TLDR, whenever there's an Extermination Void Storm node, that'll be your cue to run for Holokeys. Now go forth with this knowledge and farm those keys. If this is your first time watching, feel free to leave a like or better yet subscribe. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. 79.5% of you are not subscribed. I'm trying my best to get you new information out always as soon as possible, like I've done with covering this Tempest story and Sisters of Parvos update. Stick around if you want to see interesting memes and builds or guides on a nearly daily basis. That'll be it for this video. Thank you all for watching and see you all next time.